Hey everyone, if you haven't read the Brainbuster Purple Jinteki deck article on Satellite Uplink, you should go have a read. It is a very nice guide and also explains why brain damage based Jinteki flatline deck is better than the net damage Jinteki variant. But that was written quite some time ago. Now with Honor and Profit, Jinteki has now new tools to deal with increasing the chances of flatlining. Unfortunately, I still think that the purple variant, HV brain damage variant, is much better. And with some of the tools in Honor and Profit, I decided to try a deck of my own. So here's a playthrough of it. This deck relies heavily on playing horizontally, installing lots of assets for economy, which will fuel your brain damage ice. Bad news is that I'm actually playing against a Whizzard who will really threaten to kill my horizontal gameplay by smashing through all my servers. As you see in my hand, I have a diversified portfolio ready to take advantage of all the economic assets should he not trash it. But given that he's Whizzard, he is going to trash it, and my diversified portfolio might be very useless this game. So I res my Adonis and Pet, which is a very, very good start. And I, of course, defend my Adonis because he can trash it almost for free. Thankfully, he didn't run them the first turn. That was when they were pretty vulnerable. So now he tries to trash my Adonis, but to no avail. I'll let him through R&D and he doesn't see anything. The eyes over HQ was very important because I had two agendas inside. I cannot let him steal my agendas. I draw into my Heimdall 2, one of the important eyes in this deck because it does 2 brain damage. It's a lot of brain damage. And ice is one of the most reliable ways to inflict brain damage while keeping your central safe. It's very important nowadays, knowing that there are so many decks out there that can punish you for not icing centrals. Playing horizontally is good, but you need to have the ice to complement it. I start getting agenda flooded, so that Viper over HQ is the only thing that's stopping me from losing the game. My economy is not really well built up yet. A lot of it is based on asset economy, which Whizzard will trash, and which I don't really have established. So once my Adonis runs out, I'll need to find another way to scrunch out some credits. I installed the Fenris just to get some credits out, and I tried to get a Vitruvius as well. Knowing that he has no breakers out and he's only on 1 credit with 6 KT credits, I place a bet that he doesn't have Mimic out. And even if he does have a Mimic in his hand and steals the agenda, it won't be before he eats 1 brain damage from Fenris, which is working towards my goal anyway. A win-win for me. Because of this, I had to concede R&D once again, which means he scores the Vitruvius. But at least I get to score my own Vitruvius with 1 advancement token. This game, I needed the advancement token of Vitruvius because I need to be able to retrieve my economic assets from the trash. So the important thing here is to install multiple economic assets in 1 turn and rest all of them at the same time so that he cannot trash all of them without spending some of his view credits. So here I decide to lay the brain trap and an economic asset alongside it. So now he has to make a decision. He activates KT Jones, takes more money. So okay, he doesn't fall for the trap, and I forget to rest my Eve campaign, unfortunately. So I bring out my Adonis, and I protect it with an encryption protocol. So now I can start playing horizontally, which is good. He first checks the encryption protocol, and of course he has to trash it, because he's Whizzard. And so far I'm looking good. I have an Eve campaign and Pack campaign ready to go. But he doesn't seem to be falling for my Cerebral Overwriter, which is unfortunate. He runs through that remote server, the one with the Eve campaign. Does he trash it? Yes, he does. He spends 5 of his own credits to trash it. So it's still a win situation for me. And the Pack campaign is left out in the open. He trashes it. I'm not really too concerned about it, because at least he didn't go for a card that was behind Quandary, which was my agenda. And he then parasized the Viper, which is something I need to keep in mind. Alright, so I managed to score the accelerated beta test, and I definitely choose to beta test because I know that I haven't seen that much ice in my deck, and I can afford to let him have one agenda, or two would be pretty dangerous, but one agenda is fine. And most luckily, I get my Heimdall. It was so important because my deck runs purely asset economy, and Whizzard completely counters it. So I really needed to throw my luck into the accelerator beta test to allow me to continue getting a footing on this game. And yes, the Heimdall really helped. That's another thing about accelerated beta test. It's good in my deck because I'm running the likes of Heimdalls and Yanuses. Okay, so what he does is he forces me to use my credits in raising the Eli, and he thought that that was a cerebral overwriter, so he ran in to trash it, and sure enough it was. I was quite surprised. If it were aggressive secretary, I would have just enough to punish him for running that, and you could be very sure that him losing his Darwin and Data Sucker is a pretty big deal. But thankfully for him, he hit the trap correctly. I mean, he gets the trap correctly, and as a result, he defused the bomb. But still, I'm in a decent position with 4 points. However, I do need to get my economy going, and that is something that is problematic, even though I have my ID's ability on my side. It's just not going to work if he keeps trashing my programs, and I only have a limited time. As the game goes on, he's going to get more powerful, and now he has personal touch on his Darwin, meaning that he will be able to pass through all ice that is strength 2 or above, essentially, at the start of every single turn, even if I clear virus counters. Now, the good news is that I have a lot of high strength ice. Eli and Viper are at 4, so and Heimdall is really high up there, so I do have a bit of breathing room. Not much though. Now, you might be curious as to the red splash in my deck. I have a Chairman Hero in my deck. It's a whopping 5 influence, but I think it is one of the best tools to have when playing a brain damage deck. You really want to reduce the runner's hand size such that they will lose, and there's no better way to do it than to install a Chairman Hero. If they don't run it, they are dead the next turn, if they have suffered at least 4 brain damage. Hitting 6 brain damage is pretty hard to do, so having Chairman Hero to accelerate that to 4 brain damage is quite good. And because he has a trash cost of 6, I'm usually not too worried about the runner trashing Chairman Hero. Of course, there's a problem inherent in fighting this Whizzard, who needs to pay substantially less to get Chairman Hero out of the way. So I'm definitely not planning to use it against him this game, especially since he hasn't taken any brain damage yet. So I get my Adonis going, fantastic, and now it's time to guard it. I need to keep my income safe. But now he has a Darwin with 5 tokens and a personal touch, so 4 tokens, because he started the turn with no credits, he couldn't pay for Darwin. Yeah, that's one problem with him. He's doing very well on all fronts except for his economy, and that will prove to be rather painful for him as I rest the Viper. He has to pay, and I rest the Fenris. He has just enough credits to get in and trash the Adonis with his 3 credits. But I made him pay all his credits for that. All his newfound KT Joe credits. So I guess that's a semi-victory for me, but I'm back to being poor. But this creates a scoring window for me, so Vitruvius into the server. You can't get through unless you have 6 credits to break all the ice. So that was the advantage of pulling him into trash the Adonis. It creates a scoring window for me. I was forced to use infiltration for money, and he decides to target the other server instead, which turns out to be a Jackson Howard. And of course he trashes it. I think I should have reshuffled 3 cards into my deck instead of letting him trash the Jackson Howard for free. Yep, I think that was a mistake. So yes, he's starting to get built up. I really cannot let this game go on for too long. The only thing that's stopping him from getting through my servers now is his lack of money, which will be made up once he hits KT a sufficient number of times. The Sentinel defense programs are getting very annoying. Of course, I picked them because after picking off all the 3-2s available in HB, there's not much choice left, and between Efficiency Committee and Sentinel Defense, I suppose Sentinel is better. But yeah, having to score them as 4-2s is a pain. And I do understand that including Sentinel Defense program in your deck is telegraphs your strategy, which is a bad thing. But I like it because it the runner will be more scared of running, basically. They will be afraid of running to advanced remotes and the like, because after seeing a single Sentinel defense program, whether they steal it or whether I score it, they know that my deck is designed to deal brain damage. Alright, so I purge virus counters to get him back to square one. I'm not sure how much that helps though. And he sets up, continues setting up. So I'm really at this point floundering. It really isn't easy scoring agendas when your deck is heavily reliant on a form of economy that the runner can trash at will. So I draw into my third Sentinel defense program, and it's not going to get scored anytime soon. I'm just hoping that he won't get into HQ, which I prevented by clearing virus counters. What happened was that the turn before I cleared virus counters, he summoned a nerve agent to his hand. So I knew that he was looking to barge through HQ at all costs. So the following turn, it was a no-brainer. I had to clear virus counters, otherwise he would have enough credits to get through my hand door. He gets a medium going, telegraphing his plan again. He's going to siege RMD. Now is my time to strike. I installed the NAPD contract, ready to score it next turn, since I have one bad part from a friend risk. I'm hedging my bets, hoping that he doesn't have enough credits to make it through the server. He needs 6 credits and 4 more to steal. Bad publicity is working for him, but the moment he saw the NAPD contract, after spending 2 whole clicks to draw cards, that was a mistake. Now game is out of reach for him. With only 5 credits available, he knew that there was no way he could get into the server and I would win next turn, so that was GG. I honestly think that this brain damage deck has potential. You play horizontally, and most of the time, if the runner does not have Desperado, which is I guess a tall order for to a certain extent, if the runner doesn't have Desperado, you can actually feign your 3-2s as assets, your economic assets, because there's so many of them. You have encryption protocols, you have Adonises and Eves, Jacksons. Yeah, there are just way too many things for the runner to deal with. If they're Desperado, running on each of the face downs is like clicking for credits, so that's still fine. But for the most part, it's not something that runners are willing to waste their time on. So this could definitely work to my advantage. Another good thing about brain damage deck is that it's very resilient. You saw how impenetrable my central servers were. He had to spend so much time to chalk up the resources to be able to deal with my 4 strength eyes, to deal with my beta tested Heimdall. It's incredibly powerful and is boasts way more stopping power than playing the same thing in Jinteki, where all the eyes are low strength. So yeah, these are considerations to think about when you're making a brain damage deck. Thanks for watching. If you found this useful, I'll definitely be working to improve this deck and play it with it some more. I'm sure it has some potential. Thanks for watching.